Hey guys, so I'm just on Monumenta and I figured I would show you guys how to do Demon PK. I'm starting like after the first little section. To get here, you're just going as a core and then do like a little bit of like trivia questions and like funny stuff. It's just like a chill, like you should get within 5 minutes. There's like not really any parkour jumps or anything. And don't want to make fun of my inventory. I know I'm poor. But it's fine if you're watching this. It's probably because you're too shit at parkour to do it. Um, and so it just means that it doesn't matter how poor I am because I'm still better than you. Anyways, for this, the only speed gear I'm using are Boreas Reeves and Mytho Creever, which would be 22%. I'm going to take off the pants though, just so that I'm running 12%. And I always suggest like a little more than default. When I first did this, I did it with 12%. Or actually, I think I did it with 15. Um, and then I did it again with no speed after. But I just suggest that you guys use just a little bit over. If you go too much, it just gets harder. Obviously, there's some skips that you can do later, but I'm not really going to go over those because I'm going to show you guys how to do it the legit way. Yeah, and for this video, I'm just going to be showing it with 12% because that's what I think makes it easiest for most people. And so a lot of the strats are going to be based off 12% strats. So when you get into the big tower room, which is like the main part of the parkour, um, the first jump, you can essentially just like hold W while on this, and then just run for one take and you're on it. And these are just easy 3+1 jumps. This is the first tech jump, and obviously there's only like 3 or 4 jumps before this, so you can attempt this jump a lot and you'll get quite good at it, I think. I usually like aiming around here. You run, you click it, and you try to land. Don't bother going for the second one, just go for this bottom one here. And then I'll show you guys how to get it once I get into that position. So once you make this jump here, as you can see, I clicked it and I opened it up. My goal isn't even going to be to jump and get on the second one. It's just going to be jump directly here. So you're going to see I'm going to exit out of this inventory and then immediately hold down A and W and then press jump like that. All right, and once you get up here, this jump, a lot of people fall on it for some reason. Just make sure you're jumping from the bottom to up here, and you will hit your head if you're down here for too long. Just make sure you're jumping towards the outside and around the corner, obviously, because I think this is X facing. Um, yeah, so now I'm going to come to the very corner of this, and I like to sprint jump this. But just a little bit of a curve. You're going to want to AD or WD that just to make sure that you curve in properly and that you don't touch the corner. For this one, if you do go for a sprint jump, you're probably going to overjump it. So I like to just not sprint jump this. Just a little jump like that works. This one too. All right, and once you're here, this jump's a little more difficult. You can't no sprint it unless you actually want to do a difficult jump. But this tutorial for people who can't do difficult jumps. Yeah, for this jump, you got to sort of sprint jump it, but I suggest you don't hold your speed item. That's why I like using my weapon or a holdable item as a speed item, so I can just unequip it really easily to decrease my speed. But you don't want to go all the way back because then you risk clipping into this corner. Same time, I want to be able to forward because you want to be able to run a little bit. So I usually go like the in between point here, and then you just do a sprint jump like that. Now this jump is like a 1.8 something plus one. It's not full 2+1. It's actually not that hard. But just for the purpose of this video, I'm going to show doing a sprint jump without speed item. You can also do the the sprintless speed item strat, but I think that just doing a control W space tap like that is a lot easier. So I'm just going to do that again here. Now this is the second tech jump in the tower portion, which is the entire parkour essentially. And for this, there's like a few shots that I've seen, but the most consistent one I've found is to just squeeze up against the corner, and you sort of want to align your cursor onto the middle of the block under you. So I'm using vanilla texture pack just so that everybody can see the lines that I'm using to sort of line up. But you sort of want to line up to like the middle, and then you want to jump, and before you start getting like high in your jump, like really low at your jump, you're gonna want to click it. So you're gonna see I'm gonna press space and then like immediately click it, essentially at the same time. And that'll make it that you end up going on top of it. If you don't do that, if you're too far back, what'll happen is this, where it sort of clips you like that. And if you're too far forward, this happens. Oh wait, you got it there. What? Um, if you're too far forward, anyways, you've got the timing's a little harder to do on clicking it. So just sort of go near the line, and then do that, and then just get up top. It's really simple. You're gonna take a left here, go on this pane, and then not mess it up like I did. Geez, you're gonna WD that or however you want. Try not to sprint jump it because you don't want it just falling off. Anyways, this is just a little pane section, which a lot of people have trouble with for sometimes. Some of these jumps are danger jumps, and some of them are safety jumps. So the danger jumps are when there's no blocks to catch you if you overjump, and the safety jumps like this, there's blocks to catch you. So if there's no safety, then you always want to like be a little more careful with it and sort of press S near the second half of your jump, um, so that to make sure you don't overjump. It's literally nothing if you underjump it, but if you overjump it, then you're starting back down at the bottom. This, of course, safety jump, so I'm going to jump as far as I can. And I'm not holding my speed here, my speed item here, just because I find that these jumps are easier to do without the speed item, just to make sure you don't overjump like that. All right, so a strat for this jump that I've seen a lot of people do is that they hold a speed item and then they momentum. Now, the two strats that I see is either you no speed item and you momentum, or you use speed item and you don't momentum. So with the speed item, I would just do this jump no speed, and then speed item is 3+1 to make it a little easier, I guess. However, you can also no speed item and just do the momentum here. Just make sure that after you do, because you can see here, after you do that, and just a 1.5+1, so you can just hold space. It's actually a lot easier if you just do that. So I'm gonna momentum it without speed here, as you can see. There you go. So I just did it with no speed. And now you're at this part. We've got a little more, but we have a safety net here, so as long as you don't fall in the middle, you're good essentially. So it's a bit of a checkpoint. There's actually another checkpoint after this text section. This section has a little more text, so it'll be a little more difficult. But for this, you just want to aim fairly down, jump, and then click on the shulker box and keep going up. To do this, I have my mouse hand on the right click, and then I've got my thumb on my space and my index finger on my inventory, which is E for me. And it just E space click, sort of like that. And then you can just jump up here. All right, and so for this 4-block jump, the main strat that I know is speedless 3-block into the 4. So just no speed. I'm gonna line up like about here. This looks good to me. And then you're just gonna jam. So jam is when you press W and space at the same tick. And I'm just gonna hold control. It's gonna be a sprint jam, and then I'm just gonna do the 4-block right after without letting go of anything. So just gonna look like this. And then this next jump is actually a little difficult, so either speed it, or I'm gonna show you guys the no speed strat. So this is gonna be a sprintless jam with a 1-tap. So I'm gonna go to the very back, and I like doing my 1-taps a little diagonal. Just get a little 1-tap here like that. And then I'm just going to do a sprintless jam, so W space, and then I'm just going to control like halfway in the jump. And if you press W a little early, don't worry. If you have fast enough reflexes like that, you can see you can just press S and reset the jump. But it's fairly easy. It just looks like that. Here is just a few more jumps. Now for these jumps, you want to momentum it because that's a 4-block. So for this, there's not really any strat. You just sort of run and then time it. I'm going to use a speed jump for this because it makes it easier and it's more consistent, but you can do it with more speed or less speed. If you do it with more speed, I suggest just running on that block, but with only a little bit of speed, it's easier if you do it from here. All right, and this part's a little tricky. So when you push this button, what's going to happen is, and this block's going to come out, this block's going to come out, and this block's going to come out. So what you're going to do is you're going to stand near here, and you're gonna line up without clicking. Just line up the jumps. When you're at the peak of the jump, you're pushing the button. Um, and then you just jump like that, and then you're gonna want to get up here. So I just lined up against the corner, not fully though. Line up the jump, so at the peak of this jump, I'm pushing the button. And then you can do that. You can also jump directly to here, I think, but I like doing the little zigzag because it helps judge how much time I have left on the button. It is a stone button, so you do get a decent amount of time still. Now, hey, there's no header and everything, just a normal 3-block jump, nice and easy. This part's the next tech jump. This is a very difficult tech jump for a lot of people who don't do parkour, or at least don't do 1.9 parkour. The tech here is you gotta run this 2+1 to the side, and then you're gonna open it, and then immediately after that, you can breathe. But you have to close it, snap, and then jump onto there. So I'm just going to show you guys that right here. All right, guys, so I finally made this jump, and I got a decent angle this time around, actually. I've been resetting to try and get a better angle to show you guys, but generally you just want to be on like this half of the block, so like right down here in the middle, you want to be like on this half this way. I'm squished up against the side of the block, which actually sucks because whoever made this parkour really didn't care about your feelings, and they made it an X-facing jump, which means you're gonna bonk your shoulder on this corner really hard every time. And if you do, then this jump is failed because it'll actually reset your sprint, and so you can't make this 3-block jump. Um, like you just can't, even with an ungodly amount of speed. I don't think you can make it if you bonk your shoulder. So the most important part here is going to be the head snap. You essentially want a head snap. I'm facing this way. I want to be facing almost like towards here, not directly here. I want to go a little aside, knowing that I'm just going to WA into here. So essentially, I'm going to hold on control. I'm going to E and then WD and then W and jump. So E to close inventory, WD to align myself a little better, head snap, and then hopefully W to make the jump. There we go. So that was nice. I didn't even have to WD there. I just held control and then I E, I snapped and then I W'd into the jump. This next jump is a little easy, but for people who suck at parkour, it's a little hard. It's actually just a Neo X facing, but nonetheless, it's a single Neo. So it's fairly easy. So for a Z facing, for those who don't know, you're going to line up really close here because it's X. We're just going to line up a little far away. And I'm going to do this one without speed because even in 1.8 these are easy, but even with the 1.9 plus extra jump height, it makes it impossibly easy. So you just want to line yourself up like back here somewhere and then just make the jump like that. Now this next section, I think the creator actually had intended for you to use this, but why would we use that? So instead, what you're going to do is you're actually just going to pull up F3. And yes, I'm running vanilla. And yes, my computer sucks. Anyways, I'm going to pull up F3. And you're going to line up your curves just like right here. You see how it says facing west towards negative X, which is X facing. You're just going to want to try and get it exactly on 90. So like this. You don't want to, like that's good. And then we're just going to take out our speed item, and this is just a normal 3+1. So I actually want to be on like the upper half of 90.0, just like this. And then I'm just going to run and jump like that. Beautiful. You don't have to use a shulker box. This is just another 3+1. Make sure you're in the center so you don't bonk your head. You don't bonk your head that bad, but especially with the extra jump height 1.9, just make sure you're not bonking your head because it doesn't look like you'll bonk your head that bad, but it actually makes this jump a lot harder. But we're just going to do no technique, run and jump. And now here they actually have to set up so you can do it on both sides. So there's the other side if you're more comfortable with that. Here, just make sure you're not bonking your head. And you're going to jump onto this pane. And this is a 3+1, or actually like almost 3+1. And then, or is it a 2+1? It's almost 3. And then into the next jump. So we're just going to take out our speed item here. And because we're so choked up, we can't run as much, which makes this like a harder jump. But when you take our speed item, run for like one, maybe two ticks, and then jump, and we're just gonna hold space. All right, and now that we're at the next section, we actually got another safety. Now there are holes in the middle, so you gotta watch out for that if you fall, and there are holes all around the edge, so be careful for that if you fall. Try and stick near the middle-ish section. This section is just the consistency section, so it's actually really easy. There's a lot of easy jumps, especially if you're running 12% like I am. Just to make them that much easier because I can. It's just there. Anyways, it's just nice, easy consistency section. Nothing of any of these jumps are hard at all. I think there might be one a little bit hard jump near the end, but it's not that hard once you get the hang of it. This section is just doing this over and over again. As you can see, extremely boring. Whoever made this parkour really ran out of ideas. So they just ended up throwing a bunch of easy jumps in, hoping that you would get angry, I guess, by falling after doing like 50 jumps in a row. But if you're okay at parkour, then it doesn't really matter. And you should be able to do all of these just about without any issues. Like I said, it's all easy jumps. It's all easy jumps. You shouldn't be messing this up at all. Especially if you're doing two at a time for the extra momentum on the second jump. Like it's actually jokes. And you sort of just slowly go up. And near this last part, you actually get close to the middle. So if you fall, just be careful. Try not to fall in the hole. Otherwise, you're going to have to redo a significant portion of the floor below. Or if you're lucky, I guess you fall in the pane. Here, we're at the last few jumps. Just watch out for that pane. And that's about it. And here, just this pane is no issue, right? Like you can rub up against it and it's fine. However, that pane is a little bit of an issue for your jump. Just make sure you're jumping a little to the side. This part, nice and easy. Just run and jump here. It's not a safety, so don't pretend it is. And then here, nice easy jump again. That's a fairly easy jump and then another jump. And so I'm just going to record me doing those last two jumps and then I'll cut to the next section. Alright, and now that you're at this last part, it's actually really easy. So what you're going to do is you actually have a safety and everything just in case, but it's actually probably one of the hard parts for some people. But you just sort of walk up the step, do a few zigzags, don't even have to sprint. And yeah, you're going to walk up here, and this is actually the victory. So when you click that button, it'll warp you to the end zone where you get the reward for doing the parkour. Anyways, that was it, and I know there's a lot of thunder that's sort of ruining it, but just wanted to do a quick video to show you guys how to do the Demon Pika.